What's going on, guys? In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a market closed and market open function. So this is great for your portfolio trackers. If you want to know, is the market open or closed? You can have this neat little function, which, let me warn you, it is a little lengthy. But I'm going to walk you through step by step to show you exactly how it's done. But it will let you know if the market is open or closed. So right now, as I'm recording this, it is 5:30 on a Friday because I have nothing better to do but make videos for you guys. And all the markets are closed, obviously. All the markets that I have right now, we got the New York Stock Exchange, we got the London Exchange, Mexican, and Toronto. All of them are closed because they're all outside of these times that you see right here. This is Eastern Standard Time, which that's because I'm in New York. But I'm going to show you exactly how it works with this tab where it says how it works. So you can see I have set up, this is the New York Stock Exchange. Market open is 9:30 to 4 o'clock. It is in military time because that's how Google Sheets reads everything. And just to show you how it works, because it's still 5:35, let's pretend the market closes at 6 o'clock. Now it says market open. So it seems like a really easy function, and why am I making a video about this? It's not, guys. It's actually a pretty lengthy function. That's because there are 4 different criteria. First criteria is it before? So I'll write is here. You know what? We'll actually kind of go over here, expand this. So the first one is it before 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time? Is it after 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time? Is it before 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time? Is it after 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time? And then the last one, is it a weekend? So there's 5 things that come into play, and this is actually going to make the function pretty lengthy. It's actually going to have 3 if statements and an or statement in it. So you guys are going to be really exposing yourself to more coding per se. I know it's still Google Sheets, but it's kind of like coding. At least you're going to be learning some basic coding functions. Took me a while to figure it out, but let's dive right in. I'm going to show you how to do it, and I'm going to try my best to explain every single step. So first, let's kind of delete that. We'll delete that as well. So up here, A1, or wherever you want it in your portfolio tracker, you can hit equals, NOW, open and close parentheses, hit enter. That will give you the time. So equals now gives you the time. Very easy formula, but you need that to then create this market status, whether the market's open or closed. So we're going to jump over here. And again, guys, I'm going to try my best to walk you through step by step. But before that, smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Any comments or questions you have, drop them below. Boost that algorithm of mine, guys. Let's dive right in. It's going to be an equals if. So our first if statement and an or statement. So if or. So you got equals if open quotations. Equals if open parentheses or open 2 more parentheses. I'm going to type in weekday. Open parentheses again. We're going to select A1 or wherever you have the time cell. Close equals 1. Comma, open parentheses, weekday, open parentheses again, hit A1 again, close equals 7. Close that, hit comma. You see it says false there. Let's take this 7 and let's change it to a 6. See what happens when I do that. Now it doesn't say false. So the reason being, here, and we'll just kind of write true. You'll see exactly what's happening. I'm going to explain it. Don't write down true and false. This is just me kind of explaining. We're taking our first break. This is what you should have. Well, let's change this back to 7. I want you to have this that's highlighted right now. Okay, so we got equals if or weekday A1 equals 1, weekday A1 equals 7. Don't write the true or false, but you can see it says false right now. Why does it say false? Well, that's because the weekday 1 through 7, 1 represents Sunday and 7 represents Saturday. And then the weekdays, right? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So this first function is saying, hey, is the time is now either a 1 Sunday or a 7 Saturday. It's not, it's a Friday, so it's going to say false. That's why we have a false. If we change one of these to 6, because Friday would be the 6th day of the week, now it says true. So that is the first part of the function done. So what we're actually going to do, and this is what you can write, we're going to hit comma, market closed. But put that in quotations. The market closed has to be in quotations. We'll change that back to 7. So you see it says false. So what this is saying is, say the market is closed if it's either the first day or the last day of the week, Sunday or Saturday. It's not, so it reads false. Great. And again, we can just test it if you want. Write a 6. It says market closed. So let's change this back to 7. And now we can move on to the next step. So after we have this, right, make sure yours is exactly like mine for it to work. We're then going to hit comma and go on to our second if statement. Now this is when time comes into play. We did the weekday. That was easy. Now we get a little bit more complicated, and that's time. So it's going to be if, open parenthesis, time, open parenthesis, hour, open parenthesis, now, open parenthesis, close parenthesis, comma, minute, open parenthesis, now, open, close, comma, second, open parenthesis, now, open, close, hit the, I think that's less than sign or greater than. Yeah, less than. Time, open parenthesis, 16-0-0, close, comma, open quotations, market closed, close that, hit a comma. Good. We'll stop right here for now. Let me explain the second if. What did we just write? So it's actually pretty simple what we wrote. We just said if the time being hour, minute, and second is greater than the time 16:00, that's your hour, minute, and second, say market closed. And because it is, see that? We have 17:42. That's obviously after 1600. So that's why it says market closed. And guys, 1600 hours is for me. The market closes 1600 hours, which is 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Whenever the market closes for you, and depending on what market you're looking at, that will determine what you will have. So if it was the Mexican stock exchange, that closes at 3, I would have 1500 hours. If it is the London Stock Exchange, if I can remember correctly, I think that's 11 a.m. or 11:30. I would do 11, and then I would move into the minutes and do 30. I could be wrong. Maybe it's 11 a.m., but you get it. Depending on when your market opens or closes or which market you're looking at, that will determine what this is. So when does the market close for the New York Stock Exchange? For me, it is 16, 0, 0. I think we all understand that now. We can move on to the last if statement. Guys, we're 2/3 of the way there, believe it or not. So it's not as bad as it seems. But after the comma, make sure all of this is the same. and make sure this is just changed to whenever your market closes. And on top of that, guys, just because I'm using Google Sheets in New York and the market closes for me in 1600 hours, you don't need to match Eastern Standard Time, because Google Sheets will kind of figure out where you are in the world. So if you're in Australia, your time's going to be completely different, but Google Sheets will pick up that you are in Australia. So just do your normal times. Hope that kind of makes sense, but let's move on. We hit if, open two more parentheses, then we're going to do time again, time, hour. We're pretty much going to do what we just had. So time, hour, now, open, close, close, hit a comma, then do minute, now, open, close, close, comma, second, and here you go. You see we're on the second line, so let's just kind of, drop that down. Second, let's spell second right. Now, open, close, 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 greater than or less than, forgot which one, but that bracket, whatever that greater than or less than sign is, time. And now this is, you're going to put in your, when the market opens. So for me, it's 9:30 a.m. And then we're going to do close, close, and then hit a comma. And then here, we're going to type in market open. Close that, hit comma. Now, we're almost done, guys. There's one last step we have to do, but you just want to make sure that this actually works. You can mess around with some of these numbers. So we have it now set up where we already know what this is saying. If it's Saturday or Sunday, say market closed. If it's after 6 p.m., say market closed. If it's after 9:30 a.m., say market open. Now that may not make sense. Well, hold on. It says right here, it is after 6, but it's also after 9:30. So why is it still saying market closed even though both of these are true? Well, the way the code is read is in order. So it's not going to read this first. What it's pretty much saying is, okay, let's see. Is it a Sunday or Saturday? No. So we're not going to say market close. Let's move on to the next if statement. Okay, is it after 4 o'clock? Yes, it is. Okay, so we're going to say market closed. So it's not going to read this next line. It just stops there. It says market closed and that's it. And the cell will say market closed. But let's change this 16 to an 18 now. So now you just saw this now says market open, because now it will read the next line because this statement's false. It says if the current time is greater than 6 o'clock, which it's not, it's still 5 o'clock. Let's move on to the next if statement. Okay, what's the next if statement? All right, let's see. If it is after 9:30, which it is, say market open. Okay, great. Now it knows when to say market open, or now it knows the true statement is right here. So that's how it works. We're kind of working backwards in a sense. First, we figure out if it's a weekday or weekend. And then it says, okay, is it after hours? No. Okay, now we're going to complete the rest of the function. So let's change this back to 16. The very last part of this function, we don't have to do another if statement. We just have to do market closed. Close that, and then 3 parentheses to close it all out. Hit enter, and boom, guys, that is it. So let's explain this last part right here. Technically, we could have another if statement, but that's not the correct way to code stuff. You actually want to have the comma, and what this is saying is if none of this is true, so if it is not a Sunday, if it is not a Saturday, if it's not after 6 o'clock, if it's not after 4 o'clock, and if it's not after 9:30, then it must be before 9:30. So that means the market is closed anyway. So we just resort to market closed. So kind of complicated. I hope I did a good job explaining. Drop in the comments to let me know if I actually did a good job explaining this code or not. But we hit enter, and then the very last step, my favorite step, is conditional formatting. We go into here, change this to text is exactly market closed. Change this to red because we'd want to, signify that, okay, red is market closed. And hit done. Add another rule. And then do text is exactly market open. And then change that to a nice green. We'll bold it, hit done. X out of that. And we will center this. There we go. So there's market closed. Let's change the time. So we'll say market open. So how about 18 just to make sure the green works? And there it is, market open. So let's jump back here, guys. That is it. That is your market closed and market open. You could see here's all of the functions I had here. So again, New York Stock Exchange, we have 1600 hours and then 9:30. The Mexican Stock Exchange, we had 1500 hours and then 8:30. Then we had 1600 hours and 9:30 for Toronto. And then 11:30. We had 11:30. And then we had 3 a.m. for London Stock Exchange. And because it is Friday, all of it's closed. But guys, I hope you liked this video. If so, again, reward me with a like button. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. I have tons of videos going over Google Sheets and tons of videos talking everything about the stock market. As always, guys, I will see you in the next one.